Good morning. I'm Patricia Murphy. It's Tuesday. This is Seattle Now. A Seattle arts nonprofit is taking on an ambitious project. They bought an abandoned building in Belltown, which they hope to transform into an art space that also provides affordable housing.
What we hear now from the artists that we work with is that they want to work downtown, they want to live in the city, but they're just being priced out.
In a minute, we'll talk with Timothy Firth, the Executive Director of Common Area Maintenance, about what it's going to take to do it. But first, let's get you caught up. You better plan for wind and rain for at least the next few days as a strong atmospheric river moves through the region. There are flood watches all over western Washington. The National Weather Service expects flood risk for rivers to peak on Tuesday into Wednesday. Probably not a bad idea to keep your devices charged in case the power goes out. The King County Council is set to make history today with its appointment of a black woman to fill Gurmai Zahalai's District 2 seat. The council is scheduled to fill that vacancy today and will appoint one of three black women first. Zahalai nominated the three to fill the seat until the end of 2026. This will also mark the first time the King County Council will be majority women. That meeting starts at 1:30 today. And the Seattle City Council is expected to vote on a new 4-year contract with the Seattle Police Officers Guild. It would increase wages and starting salaries while also formally expanding the CARE model. That's the Unarmed Mental Health Crisis Responder Unit. The contract also updates some of SPD's procedures following the end of the federal consent decree. Check back for more headlines on tonight's episode of Seattle Now. A nonprofit arts organization is celebrating the best Seattle real estate deal in years. Common Area Maintenance, or CAM as they're known, purchased an abandoned residential Belltown building, the El Rey, for $20.
I actually brought a $20 bill down to the title company thinking that they'd want an actual crisp $20 bill, and they're like, no thanks. So I taped it to my wall.
That's CAM's Executive Director, Timothy Firth. Of course, buying the building was the easy part. Transforming it will be a challenge. The plan is to create a gallery and event space and provide affordable housing for artists. The plan came together after the group learned the neighboring El Rey building would be demolished.
That was instantly a call to action. We have been here for 10 years, and the idea of having this beautiful home for all of our artists be next to an empty lot was just too much.
The El Rey is in rough shape, so we met up with Timothy right next door at CAM's Belltown headquarters to learn more about the project and their grand vision for it.
Yeah, very exciting. The space will be broken up into a few different sections. On the ground floor, we're going to have two retail spaces for mission-driven organizations. We're going to have a gallery and performance space, classrooms for other nonprofits. The second floor will be residency spaces for also local nonprofits to build out or develop or maintain their residency program. So very affordable space to bring in artists, educators, performers from all over the country. And then the top two floors will be a 1 and 2 bedroom affordable housing.
That dedicated residency space is interesting. How do you create affordable spaces for artists to live in?
That's a good question, and I'm very excited about the residency program. The goal of taking the second floor and making it completely open to residency programs is kind of a dream of ours. It's also a dream of many other organizations that we work with currently. The goal is to have short-term or long-term stays for educators, for performers, for students. We have a bunch of writers that work with us and the literary nonprofits that work with us, and they're really having a hard time right now bringing in or developing residency programs because the cost of housing is so incredibly high. We actually have a couple of folks that we work with that are closing down their programs because they can no longer afford to be in Seattle. So this idea of having a sliding scale / very affordable home for residencies is just like a miracle to us. We love it. And the feedback we've gotten from other nonprofits is just like through the moon.
Now, Timothy, we're sitting here in the front window of CAM, and it says, blazoned right across the front here, Firewatch Residency. Please explain.
Yes, Firewatch Residency. That is a creative solution to a problem that we faced as soon as we acquired the property. The building had to be on 24 hours surveillance to make sure the building was safe and sound. It wasn't catching fire. So we thought to ourselves, how could we take care of that responsibility? And Firewatch Residency was born. If we weren't going to do that, it would have cost us $50,000 a month, which is clearly not money well spent for us. So we have artists, we have writers, we have even myself. I turn this into my office during the day, and that way I can watch the building. I can take a walk around the block every 15 minutes and make sure things are safe and sound.
You get your steps in, too.
I have a lot of steps in right now.
And you're looking for smoke, looking for trouble.
The building is locked up safe and sound. It is, we're in a really good spot right now. We don't have to worry too much about it, but just to be compliant, we want to watch the building and make sure we're doing the right thing.
How do you get from Firewatch to artist residency?
Phase one is getting it off of Firewatch, means putting in temporary power. We're working with a couple other general contractors to make that happen. So it'll take fundraising, it'll take some energy, it'll take a lot of artists sitting in this window for a month, but we can do it.
All right, yeah, there's a lot of goodwill from the city, but you do need cash. You need cash. How much do you need? How do you intend to try to raise it? What's your pitch?
We are actively fundraising right now. We have a lot of wonderful supporters in the community. There are also a lot of wonderful grants that are coming up that are specific to housing and to arts and cultural spaces. So we're kind of reaching out in all directions. Right now, to stabilize the property, we're going to raise about $500,000 in the next month, I would like to say. Cross your fingers, knock on wood.
That's your goal?
That's our goal for by the first of the year.
Okay.
And we're also getting there. We're well on our way. So people are going to reach out to us, and if they want to support this project, we are very happy to jump into that conversation.
Okay, that's $500,000. What else? You must need more than $500,000. What's the bigger goal?
The bigger goal, we think the project will be between 3.6 and 4.6 million overall over the course of the next 2 years. So the permitting process takes about a year. Then we have construction and we have stabilization. That's a pretty long runway, but projects take a long time, and we're going to work on this project more in phases. Phase one is getting the TI permits on ground floor, activating that with artists and projects and hopefully other nonprofits to work in those spaces, and then move towards residencies and move towards housing. So the goal, much like the rest of our projects, is to approach it with some creativity and some ingenuity, get the community involved, get people excited about it, because it's a really exciting project. And when I look up and down Second Avenue, we've been here for so long, I just feel this need to have more projects like this growing and thriving here. And I think for us, it's just opening the doors and letting people come in. We kind of live by that motto. How do we bring people in? How do we make them feel welcomed? And I think the El Rey is a perfect example of us opening doors and letting folks come on in.
What are you hearing from your donors? How confident are you?
I'm confident. Yeah, I'm confident. Does it sound confident?
So confident.
Yeah, I'm confident because we can fundraise the money over the course of its construction period. We don't have to have $3 million tomorrow. Yeah. So it's in phases. And as we move forward, we're going to keep finding folks that want to support this kind of a project. I think it's a really beautiful idea. So I feel a lot of confidence, actually. And at the end of the day, we acquired the building for a very low price. There's no reason why we can't find other financial models that would support it. There is certainly financing as an option, but the goal is to make this building a debt-free property. We don't want to service a debt when we could be servicing our community and the programming that we all care for.
You're taking a big swing here. You're taking a pretty big swing here.
Yeah.
You must have skeptics, even maybe, internally once in a while in the middle of the night when you wake up. What's your biggest fear? What do your skeptics tell you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So far, I'm sure I am the biggest skeptic because while I 100% believe in this project, there is a tremendous amount of responsibility attached to it. So we already run 2 sites, and it's all volunteer run, and we have all this incredible programming, and that is a lot to carry. But I also feel like the community is stepping up right away to jump in and help us. The Firewatch is a perfect example of that. We just mentioned that we're going to start this program. It was an idea by our programs director, Amy Hirayama, And that very night, we had a fire watch.
You talked about how this project will provide affordable housing for working artists here in Seattle. What's at stake? What is at stake?
We hear more and more, honestly, more and more, I think almost daily, that people want to live and have a stable environment so they can carry on their practice, develop their practice. I think that's one of the funny things about housing/affordability is that, just affording a place to live is kind of one little piece of the puzzle. There's also this ecosystem that we all have to engage with. Like, do you have time to develop a practice, think about it, experiment, play with materials, and on and on and on. We give so much back to this city, and we need that spaciousness to exist around us to like really bring these ideas into fruition. So I think what's at stake for Seattle, if we're not investing in this type of unique community-driven housing initiatives, are that we lose artists. We lose, and we have been losing artists. I know that that's a challenging conversation. It's tricky because we have a beautiful, thriving arts community here in Seattle, no doubt about it. But we want to hold on to that, and we also don't want to just hold on to it. We want it to flourish. We want to grow.
Timothy Firth is the executive director of the arts nonprofit Common Area Maintenance. Thanks for having us down. Really appreciate it.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Seattle Now, and big thanks to our newest donors, Reg, Chris, Cuthbert, and Bai. We really appreciate you. Today's episode was produced by Andy Hurst. It was edited by Caroline Chamberlain Gomez. Our production team also includes Vaughn Jones, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon.